silver moon, and today is day 8 of my 31 days with the goddess Morrigan. I am feeling really cool right now, really blessed. I was rushing over here trying to create this video, trying to rush and do all this stuff, and I was getting very frustrated and flustered, and then I just thought to myself, I'm running out of time because I'm losing light. It was just one of those moments, and the whole day was all about patience, and I was losing patience, and I felt like I had no control, and I was getting a little bit crazy, and my energy was crazy. It was intense in this room, and what happened is that I was recording and it didn't feel right, and so the goddess Morrigan completely shut me down. She froze the computer, froze the still in the moment, and put a mirror in front of my face to show what I was about to record and post onto YouTube and to the world to see a very unauthentic silver moon. And I was so embarrassed that I stopped and I closed my eyes and I prayed to her and I said, I am so sorry. I am absolutely so sorry. How am I going to come into your space, into this space, and act the way that I did in her name? You know, I was so embarrassed that I was taken back, and I was like, you know what? Let's clear the space. Thank you so much for the opportunity to look at myself in that very unlike me moment and realize that that is definitely not the way I want to honor myself. That's not the way that I wanted to honor her. I mean, I was in a really tough spot that I put myself in. It was bizarre. So it was really cool to have that moment, and I lit an incense and I was moving it all around the area that I'm going to be working on. I went to her altar and I kind of just sat and I just started talking to her. And I was just like, I am so sorry. I was really embarrassed. I'm still embarrassed. It was just terrible. But I feel like the air is a little bit lighter. I feel like it was a necessary lesson for me to realize, and it was well needed. So thank you for that, Goddess Morrigan. But I'm really excited because I really did want to do this, and that's why I got so heated, because I was really excited to do this. And so I wanted to share a little update on that traveling altar. I painted it black. It's really cool. And I put a little bit of glitter on the top, and then I sealed it with hairspray because it causes it not to stick to my hands, and all my items are in here, and it's cool. And so today, the amazing and beautiful and very inspiring Dahlia has sent me a gift, and I'm really excited about it. And I'm actually going to incorporate one of the gifts, which is this black feather here. I love it. I love black feathers, and so I'm going to incorporate this in the spell that we're going to do today. I'm going to go into that in a little moment. So she gave me this, and she gave me this really pretty little black tea light candle that kind of lights up. It's really cute, super sparkly. I like things that sparkle if they're not too bright. I like the little glitz and stuff. So this is actually going to go in my goddess altar. Thank you for that. And then to top it off, which is this picture I'm going to show you, is going to go with my traveling altar wherever I go, because I think it's a great representation of her. And so let me see if you can see it. So it's this woman with red streaks in her hair and a crow and a raven in the back, and there's the woman symbol in the back. So I think it's such a cool interpretation of a modern day kick-ass witch. I just love it. It's almost like the Morrigan 2015. I think it's such a cool art piece. The name of the artist is so small, but this is definitely going to go on my travel altar for my office and my work. I mean, in the mornings I set out my altar, my little traveling altar, and I go ahead and I set the intentions of the day, and it's going to be great to have something to represent her. So thank you so much, Dahlia. I'm super excited. So I'm definitely going to add those to the altar space. I have a huge thing here of different items that we're going to do, but I did want to share you one more thank you gift. My really cool, very sweet dear friend Michael sent me this gift. It's a real peacock feather, and one of the plumes one of its flight wings, and it is stunning. And this peacock feather, he said that he uses it for just like auric kind of cleansing, and I'm telling you, as soon as I took this out, it like charged my hands. It's so beautiful. I have it next to my Aphrodite statue. Thank you, Michael. This is absolutely stunning. And I'm getting ready to send a bunch of thank you gifts. So yay, I hope you like what I sent you. So this was really cool. And so what I'm going to do today is that for day 8, since I just shifted my office and I have my traveling altar out, I wanted something that I could have there that reminds me of my intentions of this challenge, that reminds me of everything that I've been studying, really delving into the dark goddess. And I wanted to do a Mojo bag. And this Mojo bag is going to be a spell that I want to do to remind me of the geese that in the book that I've been reading. It's so interesting because I decided to sacrifice fast food diet. Well, I'm addicted to diet soda and I haven't had any, and it's been crazy. But I sacrificed something to show my dedication to her and that I was serious to be working with her. And it's been a challenge just in that. And so what I did, well, this is interesting because I sacrificed those things before I started delving into the stories. And so I was reading some of the stories, which I'll have an update of everything that I've read. One of the things says that when she works with a king, or there's a king that works with somebody, they'll always sacrifice something. They'll do some kind of taboo to kind of state that they're serious. And so some people will say that I will never say no to someone that offers me food. It's one of the stories. And then they'll say, I'll never eat meat that reminds me of my kin, of my sacred kin. So somebody won't eat animals because they're sacred to them. So it's one of those interesting things. And for me is that I eat a lot of fast food. It's very easy because I'm always on the road and I drink a lot of soda more than I drink water. And so those things for me were a necessity, and to give those up and to not even know that that's kind of the lessons and the sacrifices you will need to do is pretty cool. So I just thought that was cool. So I wanted something to celebrate all this, and I wanted it a perfect little reminder and have it charged with a little spell to go ahead and keep it with my traveling altar, set it up permanently on my desk at work to remind me that I need to be a service to myself 24/7, and I need to remind myself of my dedications and all that stuff. So I'm going to pan the camera down so that you can see this amazing messy workspace, and we are going to get to the Morrigan inspired Mojo bag. All right, you guys, well, I have quite a lot of stuff that I want to talk to you guys today and share with you a little bit. And so let me move this to actually, no, that's fine. So I have this beautiful red cloth because red does remind me of the goddess Morrigan, and it's one of her colors of traits that, associate with her. So I'm actually gonna cut this fold here, this little perfect square that's already there for me. And traditionally, Mojo bags were always done in some kind of cloth, rather than like a little bag that's already like one of those drawstring bags. And so I thought it'd be really cool to kind of stick with the tradition and use a cloth that I use for chakra work. So this is a cloth that I use for root chakra work, and I decided to sacrifice this so that I can make my Mojo bag. And so this is gonna be really cool to kind of work with. And so what I actually want to do first, before we put the items in here, is I want to go ahead and do a little candle spell. So I have my beautiful dish here, and I have this beautiful black candle, and I'm gonna anoint the black candle with this amazing oil that I got from Feather Garden Bell, which is from her insect series. It is the spider oil. I hope that you can see that. It's kind of zoomed in for a little bit, but it's a spider oil, and spiders for me are very sacred to me, but they scare the shit out of me. I've been working with spiders for such a long time, specifically black spiders, like black widows. They've been my sacred spiritual animal. They always come to me when they want to teach me a lesson. about creativity and making sure that I am really on my A game, that, and also to remind me that I'm about to lose something, but it's okay because I'm able to create something and start from scratch, just like spiders. And so I'm going to anoint this candle with that energy. And I don't have a specific, sorry about my nails, I was testing out nail polishes at Target. And so I'm just kind of sitting with the intention of the spider and just making this candle really, really vibrate to that intent and that connection to the spider. And so what I'm going to do now is that, and it smells really, I can't describe the scent. It's so good. I can't describe it. It just smells so good. And so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to light the wick real quick. And I'm going to allow the candle to burn a little puddle of wax so that I could go ahead and let the candle sit on it. And what I'm just thinking right now is just my gratitude for the goddess Morrigan and the lessons, especially the hard lesson I did today on patience and the beautiful reminder that she gave me. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to sit with that energy, and I'm going to go ahead and mount this and blow a little bit so it stays. And as that kind of dries, I have two of my favorite herbs that are very special and dear to me. I have mugwort and lavender. And I use it in all my Mojo bags and all my spell jars and stuff like that. And I want to sprinkle that in honor of my spirituality, my spiritual practice, of the goddess energy, of my intuition, of my freedom, of my free will, my, just everything, my witchiness, my dedication to my practice. And I want to surround this, and all this is going inside of this Mojo bag. So I want to circle all around it, surrounding this candle. And I'm doing this in the name of the goddess Morrigan. And it's all about the intentions, all about what you want this to be, And right now, since I'm in such a great gratitude, and like I said, I felt so embarrassed of how silly I was acting, and I was taking it out on my poor dogs when they were trying to just be around me and be surrounded by love. And as soon as I witnessed that, I knew that I was in a place that I did not serve me. And that is why I want to thank her for that lesson and that opportunity to witness myself in that moment. And I think that's enough right there. And as that candle wax melts, sometimes it'll start a little fire here, and it toasts that really good and releases a lot of that fragrance, which I love. And lavender for me is such a spiritual flower. And mugwort, come on, mugwort is so witchy, and it just instantly connects me to my practice. And I'm gonna add some dragon's blood incense. And I love the traditional incense company brand. I love it. It just has a very fiery kick. It's it looks like correlated blood. And I'm just gonna go ahead and actually take some of my fingers and sprinkle it all around this mixture. And this is symbolic to me as of dry blood, and it reminds me of life and death. I'm going to add something else that reminds me of life and death in just a moment. I'm going to add another little pinch of dragon's blood. I'm going to hit the candle just a little bit, but not enough to snuff out the flame. And the other thing that I'm going to add is an insect. And this insect, for me, is more sacred to me than the crow and the spider than the owl that I work with. It is so sacred to me because it has come to me in very, very challenging moments, and it is the moth. And these moths have landed on my altar. I have found them by my pillow. I found them on my doorstep as I'm walking out, and the instant I look down, it's there. And so I know they're gifts, and they're meant for me to use them in my magic. And I'm going to use this black moth. And moth symbolizes change. It symbolizes a necessary change, a transformation, metamorphosis, life, death, transitions. That's what moth symbolizes. And so I apologize if this is something that kind of bothers you, but I use life and sex and animal parts in my magic, and that's just what it is. And so I'm gonna keep it whole. I'm gonna keep it here because it's just too beautiful to squish. And so I have that there. And what I'm gonna add right now is moldavite. And moldavite is a lava rock. And so this is very symbolic to the fiery, to that, almost like if you think about coal and diamond, this was forged in heat and fiery energy. And from all that pressure and challenge, something beautiful comes, something that is just stunning to me. And I love this lava rock. And so I'm going to keep that in my Mojo bag. I also have blue tiger's eye that is very protective. It's very tied into water, to the emotions. And as I'm reading of the goddess Morrigan, she's definitely connected to the water, to large bodies of water. And that, when you make the connection of the goddess Morrigan with large bodies of water, that's the transition part. That's the emotion and the death aspect, because she's seen washing the armor of those that are about to die. And that's when people find her near bodies of water, is when that transition of death. And I want to put that there as a remembrance that things have to die in order for things to come to new, to rebirth. Everything has an ending to it. And I love that symbolism. And then I also have a beautiful piece of amethyst that reminds me, of course, of my spirituality, of the goddess energy. And I have a piece of moonstone that reminds me of the triple goddess, the moon energies. And I want to keep that there. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to allow this to burn down. And when it does, then we'll kind of meet back and we'll assemble the whole thing and then decorate the bag. So I'll see you guys in just a few moments. Hey guys, and so I finished the spell. It was a little bit more of a personal thing for that one. So what I did was that once I got off the camera to let the candle burn, I desensitized my hand and I just sat for a moment and prayed upon it and just meditated with the energies. And once I felt like I said all that I needed to say, I blessed it with a pentagram, then sealed it, and then let it burn down. And so now it's some ash and some fresh parts of lavender, and so I mean it's very symbolic for the whole life and death. And so I'm gonna go ahead and start to put this remains in my little red cloth. And so what I want to do right now is get the spider oil, and this is just something that I feel guided to do right now, is just grab a little bit and then start tracing a pentagram with it. Doesn't mean like I'm going to completely seal the whole thing, but I just wanted to cleanse the cloth. And then I'm going to go ahead and then just dump all of this here. Right in the center. And I'm going to move this just like that to get everything right in the center of it. And I'm going to get this black yarn twill. I'm going to get ready to wrap it, but I'm also going to decorate it with some black feathers. And so I mentioned before that I was going to use the gift that Dahlia gave me, and that is going to be the black feather, and I want to put it in the center and wrap it around it because it's such a beautiful gift. And so what I'm going to do is that now that it's all kind of gathered, I'm going to grab the cloth by the four corners and just kind of put it in a little kind of thing like that. And then I'm going to find the center of it so I could put this black feather there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the, and I can feel that the amethyst is warm from the candle magic. And so I'm going to go ahead and just wrap it right now, just for a little bit, just to kind of tighten it. And I'm going to tie 3 knots just for the first one, even though I'm going to keep wrapping it, but I just wanted to seal it in place so while we decorate it. So I'm going to do 1 in the name of the maiden, 1 in the name of the mother, and 1 in the name of the crone. And now that I have this like this, you could even just keep it like that. Very simple, very beautiful. It smells like fire, but it smells like the herbs that we added to it. And so I have just a few little of these feathers, and what I want to do is that I want to just put them just around here so that I could go ahead and then begin to tie it. And it's just going to add something, and I'm actually going to move this way since I'm going to be tying it this way. So I'm going to hold it and begin tying them here. And then I'm going to grab a few more feathers, and I'm going to tie them on this side as well. I'm going in different directions just to make sure that those feathers get really tied in there. And I think that is really good. And so back in the front where I have the original knot, and I'm going to go ahead and tie it one more time in 3s. In the mother, the crone, and I'm going to go ahead and just snip the rest of this. And I'm going to pan out so you kind of see it a little bit. So let me see. So it has a feather, it has this nice little thing here, and it's really pretty. And so what I'm going to do now to seal this is I'm going to grab my spider oil, and I'm going to seal right where I did the tie. I'm going to go ahead and one more time sit with the energies. Thank the goddess Morrigan. And so it is. Blessed be. Now I could have this in my office. It's going to remind me of my divine connection, of the lessons, the sacrifices, the intent of this. And then I have the beautiful reminder of my support, that Dahlia has given me this gift, but it's also symbolizing the support that I have of this journey, that I am not alone. And I think this is really cool, and it feels really beautiful in my hands. And so I hope you have enjoyed this beautiful Mojo bag for the goddess Morrigan, and I hope it inspired you to create your own. So many blessings to you. Thank you so much. Blessed be.